guys, day 7 of my New Year's resolution, and today my question actually comes from one of my clients. She was discussing with me how her mother is starting to get arthritis in her knee, and in one of her knees she's also having bone-on-bone contact with really not that much cartilage in her knee. So her question actually to me was, what kind of exercises could her mother do? And at the moment her mom has started to ride her recumbent bike that she has at home, but my client was actually wondering if this would be good for her mother's knee or if it's actually going to hurt it in the long run. So, number one, first and foremost, there needs to be some guidelines when we're discussing arthritis and in the knee, okay? If you're gonna do any type of physical exercise with arthritis in your knee, you need to be consistent with it. That's number one. You need to make sure that you're doing your stretching exercises and your strengthening exercises for this knee consistently, okay? That's the only way that you're going to get to build that muscle up around your knee. Number two, you need to build it up gradually. You don't want to put too much stress on the knee by all of a sudden just doing so much exercise. You need to just make sure that it's gradually built up over time, okay? And number three, you don't need to overdo what you're doing. So it kind of goes with number two with building it up gradually. You want to make sure that you're resting in between and not doing too much all at once, okay? So first things first, when you're getting arthritis in your knee, the first exercise that you need to do is something called range of motion exercises, okay? These are exercises that aim to move each joint through normal ranges of motion, okay? Because throughout the day, whether you're sitting, standing, walking, if you're having arthritis in your knee and you feel some type of pain, you're probably not going to put that knee through the proper range of motion all the way because of that pain. So you need to do the range of motion exercises which are going to help your knee out, okay? Number two, you need to be doing strengthening exercises. There are two different strengthening exercises. The first one is isometric, which means you're doing strengthening exercises without moving your muscle joints, okay? And the number two strengthening exercise is isotonic, which means you are moving the muscle joints, okay? Now, exercises that I have had great luck with other clients in the past. My grandfather also had arthritis, so we were constantly trying to figure out what he could do in order to make sure that his knees were safe, we were working with them properly and that they were safe when we were doing exercises. My mother's best friend also has arthritis and knee problems and has had a knee replacement. So she, I know, does a lot of swimming and a lot of water exercises, and those tend to work for her. That is a very good way to get exercise is in the water. It's going to be easy on your joints, it's low impact, and you shouldn't have very much pain if you're doing that. Also walking. I mean, anybody can walk. Big, small, tall, short, arthritis or not, you can walk, okay? And when you're walking, you want to get that range of motion in like we had talked about before. The second one I found besides walking is yoga. So that one's really good. For your mother, who I'm talking about, to my client, I wouldn't put her through yoga first. I mean, I know we had also kind of talked about this is her New Year's resolution. She's trying to make a change. And so for her to start with yoga, I would say not the best idea. I would start with walking, and if you can get her into the gym that you belong to, I would also try to get her to take some of the water aerobic classes. And lastly, you know, you mentioned this, cycling is not too bad. It's a low impact form of exercise for her to do, and I mean, the seat can be adjusted on the bike, the back of it can be. It can be adjusted for many different physical limitations that somebody might have. And for her cartilage on cartilage, I mean her bone on bone without having cartilage, you know, you can make sure you bring the seat closer so that her knee doesn't lock all the way out and it's just a slight movement of her legs. Also, with that recumbent bike, like you told me she has, it's going to put less strain on her back and less strain on her knees because she is in a seated position, not actually sitting up like if she was riding a normal bike outside, because some of the gyms do have those stationary bikes also, okay? So a recumbent bike, if she is going to choose to do the bike, is the best option for her. Now let's talk about getting her motivated, because I know you said something about, you know, she did 20 minutes or something and that's the last time that you'd seen her do it. So with your mother, the only way to get her to actually be motivated is if she wants to do this, okay? This needs to be for her. Nobody is going to be able to get her motivated, okay? Not you, not me. I mean, granted, we might be able to get her motivated for a while, but if her heart and soul and she's not set on doing this isn't there, it's not going to happen. She's going to fall off, just like half the people at the gym do. They start in January, by March, they're gone. So your mother needs to want to do this for herself. And in order for her knee to get better, both knees, if that's the case, then she needs to actually want to do this, and she needs to do those strengthening exercises like we talked about, those range of motion exercises, and she needs to make sure she's getting on the bike or doing some type of water aerobics or at least walking. And with the snow outside that we have, the 9 inches or so, not much walking is going to be going on outside. And I know she does not belong to the gym yet. So as far as the recumbent bike, you know what? I'm going to say it's okay for her. Just make sure that she is doing her strengthening exercises and range of motion exercises for her knee, and then she should be okay on the bike. So hope I answered your question. Day 7, love your body. See ya.